What is up, everybody? Corey here, making another video in my basement. I know I just made one yesterday, so here I am again. Guess I'm using my downtime wisely. Um, in the last couple of years here, I don't look at my reviews too much, but we've got a few bad ones that have come down on the Labrynth, and 3 of the 4 of them have been Pokemon related. This is nothing against the Pokemon community, but I definitely feel that is a community that judges very harshly for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. Um, so basically, I'm just going to jump into what the review was. And like I said, I usually don't take too many reviews at heart. So many people will find the one smallest thing in your store wrong and point that out and be like, oh my god, there's a dog here on the floor. This shop is terrible. Never shop there ever again. And you can't stop those reviews from happening. It's just a thing that happens. So here's the actual review at hand. Let's talk about it, shall we? So this happened earlier today when Andrea was there. Yeah. Just made my first trip to this place and was highly disappointed. The lady very rudely told me that they do not buy Pokemon cards. I happen to know many people that have sold their cards here, and they also have been taking their business elsewhere. Then she proceeded to tell me they would take time to look at my cards if I had magic because Pokemon doesn't sell. It's pretty funny considering you barely find them on the shelves, whereas magic is constantly available damn near everywhere. You can buy cards. I will never take my business to this place again. The tone of this lady she used was totally uncalled for just because I was trying to sell a few Pokemon cards. Not to mention, they are extremely rare, and I was going to give them to them for a very good price. I was very polite, and the lady treated me like my business, and was treated like my business was not welcome there. I'm a big-time buyer of collectibles and cards, and know a wide variety of collectors around the area, and I will be letting them know not to take their business to the Labrynth Games from now on. So, you know, I always love these reviews because a lot of these people I've never met before, right? They're the one-time, first-time visitors. Something goes wrong. It's the worst thing ever. And I'm not here to knock this guy. But the issue at hand is I've been in these situations 1,000 times before, right? I've owned the game store for a very long time. I've recently gotten into buying Pokemon singles in the last couple of years because it's kind of boomed. But I don't do a lot of it, and it's not my mainstream thing. I just kind of dabble with it here and there. That is right. Sometimes I'll buy Pokemon cards. Sometimes I'm not. It's like when I open up the floodgates. What I mean by that is when I start buying Pokemon cards, 9 out of 10 people will come in and sell their stuff. I buy. Then suddenly one person might want to buy from me, and even then they're trading Pokemon cards to get Pokemon cards. So and I don't sell online, so my volume of Pokemon is very low. But I do know there's a market there, and I'll pick it up here and there. I've never advertised headlining the Labrynth Games, buying any and all Pokemon, bulk, not bulk, everything, bring it in, right? Anytime people ask if I'm on the phone or in person, I go, bring it in, I'll take a look at it. Or sometimes I'm in the position where I know I've spent a bunch and haven't sold a bunch. I just say, no, I'm not looking for it right now. You know, we'll bring it in a couple months, whatever. For a person to come in and right off the bat, they're just upset because we're not buying Pokemon cards, right? That's the biggest thing. Now we got to sprinkle in a few other things, and they're like, she was very rude to me, super rude. I'm like, I've been in this position many times where I choose not to buy something, and then people just right off the bat take offense to it, like, I'm not buying your stuff, it's not good enough. So suddenly now you're rude. Andrea said she was not rude. I believe her. Would you be like, how are you, like, the mentality of being rude, of not buying Pokemon cards, like, your cards are crap, take them out of here, I don't want to buy them, you know. And I've been in this position before. Again, I've bought many collections, I've not bought many collections, and it just, I don't know, it baffles me when someone brings up something like this, and this is the reason why they will never come back to my store again, ever again, and they're going to tell people never to come here. Like he said at the end, he knows people in the area. If people know the Labrynth from the area, they're going to tell him he's wrong, and they're going to come to my store anyways, because that's what I've been about with my store. I've been very grassrooty. I don't sell online. I keep everything in store. So tells people not to show up here, because apparently he's never been here before anyways. So magically out of the blue, when he wants to sell cards, now he popped up, and he visited the store and disliked it. And again, if you make a review and you make it 1 star, only say they went by my cards 1 star. There are game stores in my game store Facebook group that have said they've gotten 1 star reviews because they don't buy Pokemon cards, period. So someone's like, oh, you don't buy Pokemon cards, you're a terrible shop. In this instance, I think it's because he has to start sprinkling other things in there about how she was rude, so it makes his story sound better. Again, many positions I've been at where someone comes back and tells me later about something, and they got to change those few little tidbits in the story to make it sound so much worse than it was. And yes, we do buy Magic cards. That's my number one seller. I've turned away Magic cards before. There's no rhyme or reason. If someone brings in Pokemon cards, I'm gonna say no, I'm not buying from you, or yes, I'm buying from you. It's just the time of the week, or the time of the month, or the time of the year. If I need them, I need them. If I don't, I don't. No reason to take offense to that at all. And again, these reviews, I like to just kind of like let them bounce off you because you can't do much about them. There's no constructive criticism really in here. It's just some guy ranting that I didn't buy his Pokemon cards and then going off and telling me that he had a bunch of great ones and he was going to give them to it at a great price. At that point, I'm losing money by not buying your cards. So clearly, there shouldn't be an issue here. You should say, all right, man, we'll take him elsewhere. We got a lot of money here. I can go move him. I can move somewhere else really easy. So sorry, your loss. And that's how it should be. Instead of the way it turned out. And again, the whole root thing, to bring up stories like that, I've been at the store. Some guy brought in one of those like little Russian, those dolls that are inside dolls. Can't think of the name of those things offhand. And he's like, would you like to buy this? And I was like, no, not really. We don't really use those dolls here at all. And he's like, well, why not? And that's the other thing that drives me insane. I'm a store. If I don't want to buy something, why do I have to have a justification, especially with weird stuff like that? Well, why don't you want to buy it? And I'm like, I don't buy those things. And he's like, oh, well, you have collectibles, don't you? And I was like, yeah, but it's more like nerdy collectibles, not just those random collectibles. And he's like, all right, fine, sell it somewhere else. And then like the way you finish with that, that's being rude to me. I don't want to buy it. So yeah, something more tangible that I would possibly be interested in, which makes more sense, is like someone comes in my store with those 90s X-Men Ultra Pro cards. And they're like, hey, I got like 40 of these. Would you want to buy them? And I'm like, it's something we really don't buy. And then they're like, well, why not? I was like, all right, well, I'm a very sociable person. I don't want to say, no, I'm not interested. I like to kind of explain to them a little bit why not, and, keep them in the loop. And I'm like, well, it's just something we don't sell. They're not too hot. They're overproduced in the 90s. And he's like, well, I looked them up. They're worth some money. And I was like, well, yeah, they could be a couple bucks if you find the right person. He's like, well, how much would you give for them if you bought them? And I'm like, $5. And he's like, $5? They're like way more online. So I'm like, hey, let me do a quick check for you in case you want to sell them in the future. You'll have a little bit more info. And I'll jump on eBay and be like, look, a whole collection, full set, near mint, for $20. You have 40, not even the whole collection. Some of yours are beat up, and $5. I feel like I'm paying too much at $5. And then they're like, oh, well, only $5. So this is pointless. I'm getting out of here. I'm like, well, I don't want them in the first place. So I don't understand why there's an issue here. So it's weird. And so when these reviews pop up, that's what gets to me a little bit, is that there's no constructive criticism in them, that I can look at. And when someone leaves a bad review, I go, oh man, all right, let me see what I can reach out to do to help you out, and let's fix this and make sure it doesn't happen in the future. This is just someone who wanted to sell their Pokemon cards. We weren't buying them, and now he's upset. Like, as a store owner, if me buying cards, I know my store intimately. Obviously, I've run it for 12 years. I know the industry really well. If me buying those cards doesn't work out for me, that's on me. I shouldn't be buying them then. Maybe in a month from now, if we sold some, I'll come back and buy some more at some point. But for you to come out and say, oh, this shop is terrible for this reason, and add in, she was really rude to me because she didn't want to buy my Pokemon cards, her attitude towards it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And that's what it comes down to, when these reviews pop up and you're trying to make something of it, try to spin it around and make something good out of something bad, and you can't. There's nothing tangible there to use. And like I said, I stand by my community that I've supported for as long as I have, and that's why I have my shop. I've always been about the local community, and it just seems that everything in this industry right now is being nitpicked to a T. No matter what you're doing, you're going to be wrong on one side or the other, and you just got to come out ahead and do your best. And like I said, the other review that we had that was non-Pokemon related is when we were open during COVID, some gentleman came in and spun through the shop quick, and we were doing changes, and I said, hey, it's a mess in here. If you need to find something, let me know. And he was in and out really quick. Like, he knew he really wasn't there for anything. He's just walking by, and we happened to be open, and he left a review and was like, oh, this place is kind of a mess. And I was like, Andrew even said it, we could have just been closed that day. We decided to open up because we're like, hey, if we want to make a few extra sales, we can, but if not, while we're changing things up, let's just crack the door for a bit. And those are reviews that just are like, yeah, when you came in, you knew, we told you. And if you needed to find something, we could have helped you, but you clearly weren't even looking for anything. You just want to leave a bad review. So, But it's the industry right now. So other examples, like me dabbling in the sports cards, so it was kind of scary of me diversifying there. It's a rough market, and every time someone walks in and is looking at sports cards, how expensive they are, I pay my distributor's cost. I help them buy a little bit to make my profit, and they are aghast by the price. I've sold quite a bit of them, which is good. But I try to explain to them every time that in this market right now, people are insane for it. So like all this product you find at Walmart, all this product you find at Target, that people are taking themselves and selling for 4, 5, 6 times as much. In the aftermarket, that's not me. I'm not buying this product and making tons of money off of it. I'm paying my distributor, and then I'm paying my cost to make a few bucks off of it. And like I said, it's something I like to explain to people so they know that it's not just like, oh my God, you're scalping the market, you're making so much money off of this, it's ridiculous. But keeping people in the loop with videos like this to let them know what's going on. With the miniatures and toys that I've gotten into, the action figures, same thing. It's a harsh market to be in with all these big box stores in it. They have bottom dollar prices, and between shipping and getting the product in, I've sold a few here and there, but it's hard to compete with them. So when someone comes in your store and they give you a bad review because your product is pricier than Walmart's product, or that's something you can't compete with. So it's hard when you get those reviews. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to be like, yep, you're right. Our stuff is more expensive. Sorry. And now my store is bad because of that. Nothing you can do about that. If there's anything else I can get off this video about that situation that happened. But I really can't think of much else that I can say about it other than, like, I appreciate all the support I've gotten over the years. And this isn't a video to get pity from a bunch of people. Obviously, I've gotten the support, and I appreciate it. And if you have stuff and I want to buy it, bring it in. And if I don't want to buy it, don't bring it. So, yeah. I appreciate it, guys. I will make a follow-up video to this. Now, there's a few other situations or a few other things I'd like to talk about. That way, if I ever have to say, hey, go check out this video, and this is my thoughts on it, and then you can pop on there and say, oh, yeah, that's why Corey is doing that, or that's why he thinks it's that way. So, all right, guys, well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I will probably see some of you guys on Tuesday. So, take it easy, guys. Peace out.